The land was quiet, too quiet for a Texas morning. Asterisk out beyond the ridge, where the dust hung low and hawks circled overhead. Harlan Briggs, a 62-year-old black rancher, rode alone. Ever since his wife died and his son stopped returning his calls, the ranch had been his only companion. The silence stretched longer each day. The horses, the dry winds, and the creaking barn were the only voices that remained. Until that day, that morning. As the sun cracked over the plains, he saw something swaying from the old mesquite tree near the north fence line. He squinted, his heart skipping. Asterisk a shadow, a body. He spurred his horse forward. As he neared, he saw it wasn't a hanging in the traditional sense. A girl no more than 12 or 13 had been tied to the tree with thin, fraying rope. Her head was slumped, her bare feet barely touching the ground. Her long black hair covered her face. Her clothes were torn. A cardboard sign hung from her chest, duct taped on. It read, "White man don't forgive." Harlan jumped off his horse and rushed over. She was alive, barely, asterisk. He cut the ropes with his pocket knife and caught her as she fell. Her body was limp, feverish. There were bruises on her arms and dirt in every line of her skin. Asterisk, he whispered, "You're all right now, little one. You're safe." Asterisk, but in her world, safe was not a word that meant anything. Asterisk, Harlan carried the girl to his ranch house and laid her gently on his late wife's bed. He bathed her wounds, made soup she didn't eat, and placed cold rags on her head. She hadn't spoken a word in 2 days. Asterisk, the sheriff came, took a report, shrugged it off. "She's probably one of those runaways from the race. You sure you want to keep her there?" Harlan. "Could bring trouble." Asterisk, Harlan's jaw tensed. "Trouble's already found her. Now she's gonna find peace." Asterisk, when the sheriff left, Harlan sat beside her bed, reading his wife's old Apache folk stories, aloud stories she used to read to the school kids in town before cancer took her away. Asterisk, finally, on the third night, the girl spoke. One word. Asterisk, Rain. Asterisk, what's that? Harlan leaned forward. Asterisk, my name. Rain. Asterisk, she didn't say much else, but her eyes, wide and haunted, began to follow him around the house. She watched as he fed the horses, sat quietly at the table while he prayed, and slowly, without ever asking, she began to help sweeping the porch, brushing the horses, feeding the hens. Asterisk, no school. No questions. Just life, moment by moment. Asterisk, word got around that old Briggs took in a savage girl. Asterisk, whispers at the feed store. Cold shoulders at the church. Asterisk, why you keeping her? Harlan, one man asked. Asterisk, because nobody else would, he replied. But not everyone was cruel. Ms. Leona, the retired librarian, started leaving books on his porch. Asterisk, the town doctor stopped by with cough syrup, just in case. Asterisk, and one day, a white girl from the school left a bundle of hand-me-down clothes by the gate with a note, for the girl who smiles at the horses. Asterisk, Rain never smiled at people. Asterisk, but she smiled at the horses. Asterisk, one afternoon, months later, while Rain was learning how to saddle a colt, 3 black SUVs pulled into the dusty ranch yard. Asterisk, out stepped 2 stern men in suits, and a young black woman in uniform, Detective Amara Fields. CPS. Asterisk, Rain saw them and froze, backing up slowly toward the barn. Harlan came out, wiping his hands on a rag. The lead agent flashed a badge. Federal investigation. You have an Apache girl on your property. She's been flagged in a missing persons case tied to violent tribal crime in Arizona. Asterisk, she's not in danger now, Harlan said calmly. She's healing. Asterisk, she's a child, Mr. Briggs, and you're not her legal guardian. Asterisk, Rain ran straight into the barn. Asterisk, the CPS agent followed, but Harlan stepped in the way. Let me talk to her. Asterisk, inside the barn, he found Rain curled behind a hay bale, clutching a horse blanket, whispering, please don't let them take me. Asterisk, he knelt. Rain, I won't let anyone hurt you, but they think they're helping. She looked up, face streaked with tears. They'll put me in a cage, she said. Like before, something broke in Harlan. He stood up, walked out, and said to the detective, you need to understand she's not just a girl who ran away. She's someone who was discarded, forgotten. She was left hanging on a tree, like a warning. You tell me where's safer than here. Asterisk, the agent hesitated. We still need to process her. Run her prints. Asterisk, later that night, after reluctantly allowing her to stay with Harlan under temporary custody, they ran her fingerprints through the national database, and the results shocked everyone. She wasn't just a runaway. Asterisk, she was Rain Redbird, daughter of Mary Redbird, an Apache rights activist who died under mysterious circumstances on tribal land. Her disappearance had sparked local outrage but never reached national headlines. But here's what no one expected. Rain's maternal grandmother, a white woman named Eleanor Whitmore, was a wealthy ranch owner in Arizona and had been searching for her granddaughter for 6 years. Asterisk, Eleanor was dying. Asterisk, and she had named Rain as her sole heir. Asterisk, back at the ranch. Rain sat beside Harlan on the porch, her head resting on his shoulder, Neither of them knew what was coming. But across the states, lawyers were being called. Papers were being signed. And a world of wealth, legacy, and danger was headed straight toward their little ranch in Texas. And this time, kindness wouldn't be enough. Rain would have to choose between the quiet love she found, * and a birthright she never knew she had.